First of all, this year is going to be pretty cool regarding the actual storyline of Diablo Immortal. At the end of the year, Diablo will be returning, and if you remember, on the launch quest, we resurrected Diablo, and through events, Diablo obtained some of the world stones, making him incredibly powerful. The end goal is Diablo's return and us facing him. This will happen in a new zone, but this new zone is not coming anytime soon. Like I said, it will be closer to the end of the year. However, as we move towards that, they are going to release Terror Rifts. These are nightmare realities that Diablo creates. Additionally, we will have Oblivion Pillars. Basically, this will be the story side of the major update we are getting. It's not that important, but I'm sure some of you are interested in it, so I wanted to explain it as best as I can. So all of the content we are going to get this year will revolve around Diablo's return. Before moving on to anything else, I want to mention that we are going to get a new class this year. I think it will be around the same time we got the Blood Knight last year, so that is really exciting. They didn't give us any date or details about the new class, but I think it is going to be the Assassin because we already saw leaked images of it a few months ago. If you look at the emblem of the new class, it basically has the same dagger design, so my educated guess for the new class is Assassin, and this class will be released in the first half of this year. Now let's talk about Terror Rifts a little bit more. They are actually something similar to the Wraithborn invasion event, which no one really played, so they will get rid of that. Terror Rifts will be available during the day, and we will try to close these rifts. While we are doing that, we are going to gather various materials to engage with other systems. So Terror Rifts will allow us to interact with Oblivion Pillars, as well as Hellslayer Bounties, which is a new type of bounty that you can convert and also allows us to get Eternal Gear. Eternal Gear is going to be our newest items. You can think of these as a new type of legendary items, but these ones will have up to 4 affixes instead of the old limit of 3. And these will have new affixes we didn't have in the game before. If I remember correctly, there will be 7 or 8 new affixes for each class on the new Eternal Gears, and they are going to be class specific. So this should increase our build diversity, but at the same time we have to farm these new types of equipment to be able to use them. Other than that, the Paragon system will be completely changed, but this one is not going to happen with this major update. I think it is planned for the next one. On top of that, we are going to get a new equipment system that will allow us to boost up our gear. Once again, this is not going to be in the update we are going to get next week. I'm basically explaining the whole roadmap for this year. In the second half of the year, we are going to get dungeon updates, a new co-op mode, and an update for Accursed Towers. They will try to make the towers more engaging and competitive. At the end of the year, hopefully, we will be ready to face Diablo himself and defeat him in the new zone that is going to be released. You can guess that we are going to get our regular minor updates and much more stuff that is not mentioned yet. This is just a simple look at the main stuff that is planned for this year. By the way, they said that Oblivion Pillars are going to be tough to complete, but I can't really imagine any PvE mode being too tough, so we should be fine. But who knows, it might be really challenging since it will be one of the sources to get Eternal Gear. Anyways, now let's talk more about the new systems we are getting with this major update. First, let's start with the Terror Rifts. These are a new way of interacting with the open world. There will be 3 wild zones that we engage with these rifts, and there will be 2 big windows of time to find these rifts. We are going to be able to jump into these rifts for a given time, which should be 13 minutes. Monsters in these will be harder to kill than the regular monsters we always farm, and they will drop Stygian fragments, which will be used to unlock the Stygian spires, which will give us new equipment. There will be other players around us as well. Terror Rifts will be available between 8 AM and 2 PM and 6 PM and 1 AM. They will open up every half hour for 13 minutes. Inside of the Terror Rifts, we will be able to get Terror Essence, which will be very important for the other 2 modes, Oblivion Pillars and Hellslayer Bounties. Actually, let's talk about them. You can think of Oblivion Pillars as the boss stage of this content. Basically, you can run through Terror Rifts and grind, but they said pillars are going to be way harder than those, and obviously Oblivion Pillars have the highest chance of giving us the new Eternal Gear, but you can get them from Terror Rifts and Hellslayer Bounties as well. Inside of the Oblivion Pillars, we will face waves of monsters before the boss, so it should be fun to have a new PvE mode that is actually rewarding. Next, we have Hellslayer Bounties. You can basically take 4 regular bounties and turn them into 1 Hellslayer Bounty. But don't forget you will need Terror Essences for this and for the pillars. Basically, you need to farm Terror Rifts to be able to engage with these 2 modes. Now it's time to talk about Eternal Gear or equipment, however you want to call it. These are basically 3 plus 4 gear, 3 attributes and 4 magic affixes. We will have around 7 new affixes per class. These new ones are meant to be very important and they will be crucial for our builds. By the way, new special affixes can only be found on gear from the 3 new game modes we talked about: Terror Rifts, Oblivion Pillars and Hellslayer Bounties. If you find a 3 plus 4 gear on the regular maps, those won't have the new affixes. So we really have to focus on the new modes when they are released. And that's all the information we got from the content creator meetings. Other than that, today we should see a teaser blog and video release from Blizzard, and a deep dive blog will arrive on the 25th. I'll probably share more content today after checking out the teaser blog. And we will be talking about all these updates on my live streams this week. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, so you won't miss any upcoming content. And lastly, don't forget to leave your thoughts about this update in the comment section. Thanks for tuning in and take care.